Oh, wow. Sorry you ain't your mama, but life about to be real hard for you, baby girl. Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is your Anime Legacy, and admittedly, after a long hiatus, I'm back. Hope you like the new intro. Gonna see it a while. But what's also back is Two Blue Vortex, and like I said, I'm not necessarily going to do chapter reviews for Two Blue Vortex at this time because Two Blue Vortex just has way too much going on. I mean, it's too much meat on this bone right here. Let me just talk about the relevant stuff. If you want just a straight recap, of it, I mean, there are plenty of people out there giving that, and they do it a hell of a lot better than me because I'm not that guy who cares about, a lot of that little stuff. I look for the relevant points in a series and try to talk about that more than just giving recap. With that being said, and really this is a tough decision because again there's a lot to unpack when it comes to this. So I thought the best place to start talking about Two Blue Vortex with something that everybody's not talking about. Everybody wants to talk about the Senshu and Sasuke being a tree and Kashi and Koji being alive, and yeah, all that stuff is great, but I kind of want to talk about Sarada suffering and the omnipotence because I think that that's going to be a very interesting side story while we follow Boruto as he tries to deal with, getting his legacy back, his name back, proving his innocence, and stopping these Senshu from basically devouring everybody and taking over the universe. Before he goes on to have that flash forward fight with Kawaki, because that stuff is probably going to happen later, and I'll probably get into the Senshu and Kawaki in another video at a later time. But as for Sarada, being honest, I like Sarada more than I like her mother. I think she's been a well-designed character. I mean, I know a lot of people look at Sarada and say that, oh, she's kind of being written to be useless. She can't do it. One thing, she can't do all this stuff. Excuse me. It's like one thing you gotta understand about the women of Naruto right now, and this is kind of like an unfortunate trope in a lot of major shonen anime, excluding series like Fairy Tail and the others. women get pushed to the background because they don't have ultimate power. I mean, you can tell me, you can tell me Sakura is useless, and for most of the series she is. But when we get into Shippuden, it's not that she's useless. It's more that Naruto and Sasuke are on God mode. I mean, they're like the reincarnations of like God level, shinobi. So basically, they're on a level higher than she is because they have abilities she simply, as a normal human person, can't match. That's why Minato Nakamiki, Naruto's father, is the strongest human Kage, because we don't know if the Nakamiki clan I think it's Nakamiki. The Nakamiki clan has any ties to the Otsutsuki. So we get that out of the way. Now, another reason I don't pay attention to Sarada is because of the whole drama that happened with Narusaku fans when the last came out, and we found out Naruhina was canon, which made me happy because that's my preferred relay. That was my preferred ship, but they didn't take it too kindly. And they sent death threats to Kishimoto, and even Kishimoto's own wife, didn't like the fact that he not ended up with Sakura, with Naruto instead of Sakura, because she looked like Sakura, and it's like, man, it's just one of those situations like you can't make these women happy, man. Can't make these women happy nowadays. Excuse me. It's like crying shame. But that being said, Sarada's story is going to be a very, very tragic one because, of what Momoshiki said, people who are immune to the omnipotence tend to suffer the most. And the biggest way, as we see with Sarada suffering, is that she has to constantly be in this fight against her family and friends because she, much like us as the audience, knows something they don't. And now, with Sasuke being in a tree form, now, I'm not going to get too into the Shinju, because again, that's another video. But I'm going to tell you, for all you people saying Sasuke's dead, he's not dead yet. This is basically a scenario like if you saw the Jordan Peele movie Us, where the mirror forms of people came into the real world and started replacing the actual people. It's like that. The Claw Grimes or Shinju are taking people, or probably people they feel are the optimal people that they like, and basically turning them into tree people and sucking out their life force to give themselves human form. Now, like the floating Shinju said, this also applies to dead people, and they're just taking that DNA from the earth. Because it's like, we all say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The DNA is still in the earth, so they're taking that DNA from the earth, and they're basically using it to, give themselves humanoid forms. That's why the Sasuke Claw Grime, yes, because of Sasuke's swordsman technique, he turns his arm to a blade. I probably think that that's something that most likely all of them can do. But I think he's the one that will probably do it the most because of his actual uh, connection to Sasuke. So beyond this, I'm still waiting to see Sakura in this, and I kind of want to see Sakura and Sarada's relationship because I think that's something that we need to focus on, how Sakura feels about this. I mean, personally, I don't like Sakura, but I mean, let's be real. The woman gotta be feeling some kind of way. I mean, her husband is back in the situation he was for most of Shippuden, where he was a convicted, where he was basically a convicted criminal. And this time, it's because of her daughter, and also you have to put the caveat that Sakura does consider Naruto a friend, and she does consider he not a friend. And to hear that her husband is defending that person may put some stress on her. And just in general, beyond that, because I think, in getting into the omnipotence, I think one of the ways that they're showing you that the omnipotence controls you is it makes you dumber than you would normally be. Case in point, Konohamaru, when Sarada had her first real major, debate with Shikamaru, was saying, well, if Boruto is innocent, why would he run? And I'm sitting there like, that's the dumbest question in the world. I mean, before Sarada in chapter 80 of Boruto Next Generation, used her Mangekyo on her father. Let's be clear. Sasuke had that long sword that he carried around Boruto's neck and was about to slit that throat. He's about to kill that boy. Until she did that. I mean, if I was in this situation where I had a kill on sight order for me for something I ain't done, I'm going to run too. That's normal human reaction. Because if people in such a friendship, I mean, let's be real, let's look at what Boruto is accused of. You are accused, if you're Boruto, of killing the world's, or should I say, one of the world's strongest ninja and one of the world's most popular ninja. Naruto is a war hero. He's the guy who basically brought peace to the ninja world. And he saved the world from Toneri. This is the most popular man on the planet, and supposedly one of the most powerful men on the planet. And you just somehow kill him and his wife. Yeah, that's a kill on sight order, man. So basically you ain't really got too many friends. And ain't too many people looking to hear your story at this time when things are raw. And again, unfortunately, in both Sarada's situation with her father being in a tree and the omnipotence as a whole being a ticking clock, it's like you're not going to get much support. You're not going to get much help from people because they're emotional. And even if they weren't emotional, they're under a form of brainwashing that makes them less applicable. I think I'll use that word, applicable, to hearing out your arguments. Like even Ada says, you can't undo it. All you can do is just make another memory. Now, we've already seen with the omnipotence that while it can cloud the mind, it can't cloud the heart. Because like you see with Mitsuki, he's asking himself about Kawaki, like, are you the moon to my sun in chapter 1? And even Himawari, ironically, because of the Naruto versus Delta fight, says she wants to help Boruto because in her mind, Boruto, not Kawaki, is the one who saved her life from Delta in that fight. So Boruto does have potential allies, but it's going to take a while for them to get to a point where they're willing to follow Kawaki. And it's just lead Kawaki and follow Boruto. Now, Boruto could have another ally in Ada, but again, I'll say that one for another video. But that's all I got for this one. If you like anything you heard, subscribe to the channel, give me your thoughts in the comments section, leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.